Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, happy fall. And if you're in the southern hemisphere, happy summer. I guess you're coming into spring. Welcome. Welcome to turning your energy drain into an energy gain, powering up your week on this wonderful day filled with thankfulness. For some, perhaps, and for others, not so much. But I want you to know that you are in charge of that, right? So if you're not feeling thankful, what can you feel thankful for? That's what we're going to spend today on. We're going to spend today raising our vibe because our vibe really controls everything: our health, our wealth, our relationships. I'll go as far as to say our conversation, our inclusiveness, our separation, because it is the attractor factor. It's the factor that emits this lovely light energy in each of your little cells, 70 trillion cells in your body. And you know, when somebody has that glow, it's like, wow, that person's just glowing, or wow, or it just sort of catches your eye. And that's your energy. That's your energy signature. My name's Deborah O'Neill. I'm the CEO and founder of BlissBE.METHOD, Integrative Holistic Health. And I'm here to share because I care. And my basis of the work that I do is the biofield. The biofield is the energy that is emitted from our energy centers in this actual vessel. And there's 7 major energy centers that go through the central channel of our body. Sometimes if we're off, the chances are our energy centers are off. So I work with balancing the energy centers. I work with removing blockages, creating the flow, having the body remember the flow within the body, from the toes to the knees, from the knees to the hip, from the hip to the heart, from the heart to the shoulders, and from the shoulders to the head, or in reverse, and having the body remember the flows. You see, often energy is much like this, my shirt. And it bunches. If we have something that comes into our lives that creates a situation of stress or shock or trauma or trigger, then it contracts. It contracts, and it's bunched up. And the energy flows through the path of least resistance. And so the energy just flows around that. But when we bring in the energy work, so to speak, we bring in the flow between these regions and it opens it up. And then the natural flow occurs, which allows the oxygen in the blood and the movement in the fascia and the full, epidermis of the body, the cellular tissue and the cells, and that allows for the healing. That allows for the removal of those blockages. And also, like I've spoken before, our thoughts are not in the little box in our forehead. Our thoughts are actually in the field. And we can attract, just like this magnet, we can attract thoughts that aren't ours. And some of them might be love thoughts, and some of them might not be love thoughts. But we get to decide. So if you're not in a place of thankfulness, then the chances are that you're, attracting things that aren't allowing you to be thankful. But if you can come in and turn that frown upside down and just sit with me this morning, sit with me as we go into that expression of thankfulness. Now, the highest vibration that's been recorded is the vibration of love. And I think it's in the book, Force. It's on the tip of my tongue. Force versus something. If I remember, I'll put it in the notes. But everybody, I think it's harder potentially for people to feel love if you don't feel loved. So as a collective, because we form a collective energy from our field, I think that from a collective, it might be easier to find and recognize thankfulness in your life. Just to be thankful that you are alive. Just to be thankful that you have the power within you to affect the collective energy just by you being thankful, just by you loving yourself. If that's all that it is, that affects our collective energy. This is what this is like a global immune boost because it totally affects our immunity. And our immunity is affected because it raises our vibe. So when we raise our vibe, everything else falls away. It's just like static. Static can't stick. And the only thing that stays might be love. That's there it is. The only thing that stays will be love. And all this other stuff in the head, in the field, goes away. It just naturally falls off as the magnetism, the energy force, including all these little spiky little tacks that sometimes cause us pain, just go away. And we attract just love. Layers and layers and layers and layers of love and thankfulness. And it becomes easy. It becomes the norm. Where we take that 70% biased mind of ours, and we turn it into 70% positive, love-filled, thankful-filled brain. Allowing that 70-30 equation for the negative, 70 negative, 30 positive, it's my mission to take it to 70 positive, 30% negative. Think how different you would live. Think how different the world would be with that. To have that level of love and thankfulness in the world. So as we go through our day today, and for those of you that are in the West Coast with me, and if you're celebrating Thanksgiving dinner this evening, go into the day with full thankfulness. And be thankful for the people that you get an opportunity to meet or the people that you get to speak to. And my hope is that we can be mindful of what comes out of our mouth. Be mindful of useless conversation. Be mindful if your conversation is projecting something at someone. Be mindful if you are blaming someone for all the things in your life. Be mindful. Are you speaking from a place of thankfulness, or are you speaking from a place of regret, remorse, anger, frustration, worry? What are you contributing to the conversation? And I challenge you that if the conversation is not a conversation of thankfulness and love, bring awareness to that and ask at the table or wherever you may be, what's your hopes for 2022? Start talking about hopes and dreams. Start talking about the beautiful things that you've had an experience of in the last year. And if you can't even find something in the last year, then just remember a beautiful experience and share that. And I say that because I found myself in a situation yesterday evening with some people, and the conversation was, quite frankly, dreadful. And it really was an energy zapper. And it really played havoc or like in a downer into the experience of the evening that we could have had. And yes, I did speak up and say, this is a story that's repeated and repeated and repeated. And I said, and what do you want? Let's talk about what you want and how we can go about to create that. So it allowed, but we, kept on coming back into this blame. This person makes my life so miserable. You are the attractor factor. If you've got misery in your life, it's time to turn that vibration button up. So come with me now on a 3-minute journey within yourself, in your psyche, in your mindfulness, as we come and feel our feet on the floor. We feel our buttocks in the seat or whatever piece of furniture we're sitting on. Or if you're laying, feel your body release right into whatever is supporting your body. And simply be thankful for this. The earth, the gravitational force keeps us attached to the earth, so we're not all floating around banging into each other. And insert the magic chuckle, because sometimes things will just sound ridiculous, and allow that fun giggleness, that ridiculousness of it all. And ask yourself, am I actually releasing my body into whatever's holding me up? And within you take a nice inhale and exhale with sound. And a little bit of movement. Your body can be a regulator. Your sigh is like a tuning fork for the body. It's like, I'm letting everything go. You can do a little rocking back and forth, front and center. See if you're leaning right in. Where is it that you need to go? Are you in a rush, or can you relax into this center point of your body? Are you leaning away? It's like, okay, I don't feel like doing this part. I'm not into meditation right now. We're not doing a meditation. We're creating a level of mindfulness within our body so that we can walk through the day and the week in mindfulness. What we want to practice. It's a practice. Remember, our mind's biased, not 70%. And that's okay. That's part of our survival system. Oh, don't go there. Oh my gosh, that's, or that element's hot, or those coals might be hot, or it's cold outside. I better put on a jacket, or, but to really pay attention to it and come into that center point. You might even be able to see where your energy is off with your body. You might be able to feel it. You might be able to hear it. And believe it or not, you might even be able to taste it. And you may know it. You may be like, oh, my heart feels like it's on the other side of my body. Right? And just bring it in. My tummy's rumbling. My tummy's upset. That's an indication of the energy is shifting in your tummy. That's why it grumbles. That's all energy. Paying attention to the subtleness. If you have an ache somewhere, acknowledge that ache and say, I hear you, I see you, I feel you, and I'm going to offer you some oxygen by breathing into that area. Give it a little movement. Just because you're sitting down and going into mindfulness doesn't mean you can't move. Allow your expression. Your expression matters. It's just a matter of figuring out what expression you're bringing in. You might even want to just take your hands over your face and just feel your own energy. Feel the warmth off your hands, or you may feel coolness off your hands. Each is an energy. Temperature is an energy. And be thankful that you can acknowledge this. And if you're sitting around a Thanksgiving table today and you don't feel like you're participating in the conversation because you're choosing not to, because it might not have the vibe that you wish it to have, and in your challenge and your contribution to adding a heightened vibe, you can increase the vibration simply by sitting and being and calling in a higher vibration, calling in a higher love. Just come into your heart and just think of the opportunity to be here, not there where you are, but to be here, be in your own presence, to know that you're just stepping back and not participating. And if somebody says, "You're awfully quiet today," just say, "I'm just taking it. I'm just enjoying. I am enjoying my time. I'm enjoying my time. I'm enjoying watching your interactions." And if you're not, say, "I'm just holding space for this low vibe conversation." And they're going to say, "Oh, weirdo." And that's okay. That's okay, because it is weird to people. People that are caught up into the negative biased, the people that are caught up into the ego, the people are not taking accountability for themselves or placing blame on other people. Everything that's in front of you, you have attracted, good or bad. Everything that is in front of you, you have created, because it's a perception. And sometimes it's hard for us to remind ourselves that. But it's an opportunity for you to plant a new seed. So my conversation, my experience yesterday, I created. It's like a test. Okay, Deborah, here's some misery in front of you. What are you going to do about it? I plant a new seed. I plant a new seed. And I put out, this isn't really the vibe I was hoping to create on this evening together of this Thanksgiving weekend. Do you think we can shift it up? Meaning up the vibe? And it lasted for about 10 minutes. And then it went back, it reverted back, back into blame, back into, story. And then again, it dropped a new seed, the seed that I want. Hey, we're back in that rut. Do you think we can snap out of it again? Recognizing our ruts, planting new seeds in that rut so something new can grow, tilling that soil, nurturing that soil, shining light, your light on that soil, and watch it grow. Feeling your feet on the floor again, your buttocks in the seat. And coming into your heart, feeling that thankfulness again for your courage and your bravery to be able to plant new seeds in your life with the people that you love. It's not always easy. Nobody says it's easy. It's a practice. And with that practice, you get layers of love instead of layers of this. So rise to the challenge, find the love in your heart. Know that I love you, and be thankful. Be thankful. Woo. A lovely bit of emotion, and make it a great day. Happy Thanksgiving. See you next week.